Everyone, I am Chhavi Gupta and I was one of the 100 percentilers of CAT 2017. Today in this video, I'll discuss several preparation strategies and tips for the CAT exam. So CAT is the common admission test, which is one criteria for admissions into several IIMs and also several B schools of India. CAT consists of three sections, that is the verbal ability and reading comprehension. The second section is the logical reasoning and data interpretation, and third is the quantitative ability section. CAT in itself is an aptitude test and it does not require you to remember a lot of things. So what you require mostly is a lot of practice, and hence it is very much possible that you prepare for CAT even without a coaching institute. And it is also possible that you prepare for CAT even while doing a job like I did. So it is not necessary that you study all 7 days of a week for several months for the CAT exam. It is possible that if you take out say 1 to 2 hours per day and a bit more time on the weekends, that kind of preparation should also suffice. For me, I used to do at least one mock test every other week, and that used to help me a lot. So I will now tell you the preparation strategy for the three sections. The first section was, as I told, verbal ability and reading comprehension. In this section, there are two types of questions. The first is a reading comprehension, where you get a passage and you get some 3 to 6 questions based on the passage. Now, the most critical thing over here is that the passage can be from any topic. Now, it can be global politics, it can be related to environment, science, arts, and hence you need to be well read in all these topics. It should be possible for you to concentrate and focus on the passage, and even if the topic is not of your interest, it should not be like you're losing focus in between. So for this, what I would suggest is that you start reading very diverse novels, magazines, articles and newspapers of English starting now. Then the second type of questions that we have are para jumbles, para completion, some summary making questions, and these questions what I required was a lot of practice. So whatever questions I did in several mocks, I did them 2-3 times till I got a knack of what kind of grammar they are looking for, what kind of, what is the thinking of the question paper setter. And that is what I would suggest to you as well, whether you take several books or whether you do a lot of mocks and a lot of questions and you repeat those questions. Just prepare for these questions a lot, because there is no theory in the sense of what you can study in this. Coming to the second section, that is the logical reasoning and data interpretation. Here we have 32 questions and there are 8 sets, so each set consists of 4 questions. The most critical thing in this section is that this is one of the most difficult sections of CAT in the past few years, and in this section time management is of utmost importance. So in my exam, I attempted almost 6 sets, and that is, I think, from what I have heard, that is, I think, what is the maximum attempts of any person, and I got a 100 percentile in this particular section. So what you need to do is that first glance through the different sets and then form some order in which you will attempt these sets. Now just aim that you will attempt around at least 4 to 6 sets, and depending on difficulty it could either reduce or increase. Now what other thing that is important in this section is that once you start attempting one particular set, suppose you have spent some 5 to 7 minutes on this set and you are unable to crack the set. Now it is time that you let go of this set and start solving some other set, because you might be thinking that you have already invested 5 to 7 minutes in the set and you should invest more time and solve these 4 questions. But it might be possible that this is one of the most difficult sets in this section and you might not be able to solve it even in 15 to 20 minutes. And it is not reasonable to give one particular set 15 to 20 minutes. So I would advise that you let go of this and start solving some other set, and in case you have time in the end, you can always come back to this particular set and solve it from where you left it. Another thing is that because each set consists of 4 questions, it might be possible that 2 to 3 questions are very easy in that set, and you are able to solve them in say 3 to 4 minutes, and the remaining 1 or 2 questions are quite difficult and require a further investment of 3 to 4 minutes. Now what my advice would be is that you leave these questions, you start attempting different sets, and in the end, if you have some say 2-3 minutes left wherein you cannot start a new set, you can come back to this and solve this 1 or 2 particular questions. Coming to the quantitative ability section, this is like CAT has been making it easier year by year in the past few years. Now this section is that engineers and non-engineers, it is at par for all of them. So it is not very difficult, and do not think that if you are not from a maths background, you will not be able to perform well in this particular section. What this requires is some basic formulae of geometry, numbers, probability, etc., which you can get from any CAT preparation mathematics book. And once you get clear with the basics, what is important is that you practice a lot, and this practice you need to do in a timed manner. So suppose you are giving some 30 to 40 seconds to each question. That is kind of the time that you need to give to each question in this section. The last thing that I would like to say in the preparation strategy is that as soon as you start your preparation, start giving mock tests whenever they are available, because once you give mock tests, then that is when you realize what are your weaknesses, what are your strengths, and then only you can have some strategic preparation. It is not advisable to just keep on doing things that you know and you like to solve, and it is not advisable to just keep on working on your weaknesses which you might not be able to improve very much. So once you start giving mock tests, you will be able to track your performance, your progress in different topics as well. So whenever you start your preparation, just try and give a mock at least every other week. So that would help you to keep track that where you are losing, where you are gaining, etc. Then coming to the final day. In the final day, it is very important that you stay calm and you do not panic. Just follow the strategy that you made through your mock tests, and follow the same strategy. Do not think that I'll do something new and I'll be able to get very good marks. So whatever strategy you have for where you perform the best, try and follow that strategy. If you think that the test is very difficult, just know that because you're prepared, it is difficult for everyone else also. So do not panic. Once you start panicking, you start making even more silly mistakes, and that is when, because CAT has negative marking as well, it could bring your score down a lot. So just stay calm, do not panic, just stay confident, just think that you have done your preparation, what you had to do, and because it is a timed exam, do not feel the pressure of that timer over there. If you have done a lot of mocks, you will be used to that timer by now. Coming to what happens after the CAT results are declared. After the CAT results are declared, several IIMs release their shortlists for group discussion and PI process. It is the 10th and 12th marks, it is your graduation marks, also your work experience, etc. So do not think that if you have got a less percentile, say 97, 98, then you will not get shortlist from all IIMs. It is very much possible that you get shortlist from a lot of IIMs, because there are several different parameters that are taken into consideration. Also during final admissions, also there are the SCAT score, 10th, 12th, graduation, work experience marks, along with the interview and the GD marks that you get. So that is how the final admissions list is released. So this is mostly all about the CAT preparation and what you need to do on the final day. If you want to know things on more detail, I have written some answers on Quora. You can check out my Quora profile. The link is there in the description. And in case of any more doubts, just feel free to send me a message. Thank you.